Okay, let's dive in. If you're currently navigating the massive amount of information for USMLE Step 1 prep, you definitely know the struggle.
It's intense.
Yeah. So today we're looking at some source material introducing a new potential tool, the USMLE Crush podcast.
Right. Our source is literally the intro episode of this podcast. And our mission here is basically to unpack what they say they're offering, who it's for, and why they think audio is a good approach for this exam.
And right away, their introduction makes a pretty big promise, simplifying those really tough Step 1 topics, making study time more efficient.
Which, that's got to sound good to anyone buried under textbooks and Q banks, right?
Absolutely.
Their main pitch seems to be breaking down high-yield concepts into, easy-to-listen-to audio segments.
So fitting learning into maybe commutes or workouts, that kind of thing.
Exactly, a break from staring at screens or pages. They get pretty specific, too, about what they're covering.
Okay, like what?
Well, they say it's focused strictly on high-yield Step 1 stuff, using formats you'd see in real NBME or UWorld questions.
Ah, so case-based.
Yeah, case-based. They talk about simplified explanations, but also teaching you how to think like the people who make the test.
That's interesting. So how do they actually do that? What's the format like?
They describe these short, focused episodes, maybe 5 to 10 minutes each, hitting just one key concept per episode.
Bite-sized.
Pretty much. And the approach is breaking down clinical vignettes, really digging into the why this symptom, why this treatment, and giving memory aids.
Okay, so it's not just reciting facts, it's applying them to a scenario.
That seems to be the goal.
Yeah.
And they list a wide range of topics: pathophysiology, pharmacology, immunology, micro.
The big ones.
Yeah, biochem, genetics, neuro, cardio, pulm, renal. Plus, they specifically mention hitting classic buzzwords, red flags in cases, and even common NBME tricks.
Okay. So why audio specifically for Step 1? Did they address that?
They did. They acknowledged the, sheer overwhelm. Massive books, thousands of questions, not enough time.
Tell me about it.
So they argue audio works well for passive review, reinforcing stuff you've already learned, and practicing that clinical thinking from cases. Small doses, big impact. That's kind of their slogan.
And they seem to push a particular study philosophy too.
Definitely. Right from the start. Don't just memorize facts, understand the mechanism. That's a direct quote, basically.
Understand the why.
Exactly. They use examples, like asking why a certain drug works for asthma, or what signal recruits a specific cell during inflammation. The idea is that understanding that logic is what helps you answer those tougher clinical questions.
Moving beyond just pure memorization.
That's the argument.
Yeah.
They also mention a Telegram channel for updates and bonus stuff.
Right, another touch point.
And they finish the intro by teasing their actual first content episode. Apparently it's a high-yield asthma case from UWorld.
Oh, okay. So a concrete example of their style.
Yeah, they say they'll break down bronchodilator mechanisms and that classic beta-2 agonist question everyone sees.
Gotcha. So wrapping it up, based on their own introduction, the USMLE Crush podcast sounds like it wants to be a really focused, case-based audio tool.
Yeah, aimed at cutting through the Step 1 noise, with a strong emphasis on understanding why things happen clinically.
A supplementary resource, maybe, to sharpen high-yield knowledge and that clinical reasoning skill.
Seems like it. Fits into your study plan, doesn't replace it, but aims to make certain parts more efficient or clear.
So it leaves us with a thought, doesn't it? Given how much information Step 1 demands,
Yeah.
how much does really pushing yourself to understand the why, the mechanism like this source suggests, how much does that actually change how you learn compared to just trying to, absorb everything?
And what does that mean long term? Beyond the exam for actual clinical practice,
Yeah.
does that deeper understanding stick with you differently?
Something to think about as you hit the books or maybe the audio player.
Definitely.
All right, that concludes our deep dive into the introduction of the USMLE Crush podcast.